Hello, and welcome to the second of 4 sessions of Masks on Saturday Morning Cartoons, part of the Gauntlet community. We've run this in 2016, and this is the 2017 version. Who knows, it may happen again later in 2017. We do have a returning hero from the 2016 game. The Mole Princess is part of this session. So we ended on a cliffhanger. Now, in last issue, I think heretofore unnamed supergroup. I believe there have been some things like Sika and the forest creatures was one possible name that was thrown out there. Argent and the others, hashtag and the unmentionables. All of those names have been cast aside. They're still in committee. So the 5 of you, right? Because you also there were a couple of characters who will not appear this session. A legacy by not a legacy. Yeah, kind of, sort of. No, protege. We have Argent, and then we also have Impulse, and the other 3, Shadow, as well as Sika and hashtag. The 5 of you had gone to your little headquarters, and you were performing a training mission, and you were fighting. It was live fire. You were fighting against Snapping Turtle, who is a former villain. She's a gold generation villain, so she's probably worked with the Mole King before. And she was a member of the secret organization Venom, and her body, she was dying of cancer, and then her body was linked into a suit, a big, huge robotic suit. And she's basically paying the bills by playing as the training dummy for this group. A fight ensued in which the Snapping Turtle released a little bit of information to the Shadow that that the Raja is watching over the Shadow and is pleased with the Shadow's progress. And that seemed to upset the Shadow, and he unleashed some of his Shadow powers and enveloped not only the Snapping Turtle, but also Sika and hashtag and himself. And the last frame of the first issue, our premiere issue of this as yet unnamed Masks Supers team, is that all that was left in the little training area was the 2 Argent and also Impulse. And so that's where we had ended things. So just so Philip has some scope, if you guys could each do a quick introduction of who your character is. We'll start with Yoshi. Can you tell us about Sika?
Sure. So Sika is a legacy. She comes from a family of superheroes, and all of the bloodline, I guess, that what the heroes do is they have powers that usually relate to an animal of some sort. She's Asian. She's a woman. The person who had a lot of power, one of the people who had a lot of powers who was doing training, was her grandmother, who was a kitsune who was associated with the fox. Sika is associated with a spotted deer. Her abilities are she has magic weaponry, mythic might, and godlike beauty. She tries to basically live into this whole superhero fame thing and kind of lean into it a little bit hard, just being part of the center of attention and trying to do the right thing type thing. And so that's kind of her jam.
Thank you very much, Yoshi. Stephen, we've mentioned Shadow, but let's give a quick rundown about. Wait, the Shadow and Alari, did they know each other, right? Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Okay, good.
Yeah. So this is kind of a alternate reality, and so Shadow's a little bit different than he was previously, which is kind of nice. We're pushing the doomed aspect of the Shadow. He doesn't have full control over his powers. He got his powers through drug experiments that the Raja was doing, and he was trying to create a serum that would create superheroes, a drug that would create superheroes, and was experimenting on vagrants or the unlucky, and the Shadow was created. He has body transmutation vitality absorption and superhuman strength and speed. So he the way his speed manifests is sort of like almost like teleportation, where the cloak will flutter and he'll appear somewhere else. And the Raja is what the snapping turtle mentioned that caused me, on a failure, to overexert myself, and we've been transported someplace else. Yep.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and then Michael, tell us about hashtag.
Okay, so kind of playing on this theme of like superheroes as like celebrity, hashtag was like, a teen who was, super interested in heroes, and he actually developed a social media following by basically, following superheroes around and taping them and like, tweeting and like broadcasting all that stuff, often in the middle of their heroics and oftentimes getting himself into danger while doing so. And at one point he kind of realized, like, he heard about this Raja guy who, had developed some, experimental, substances that could give you powers. And like, obviously he was all about that. So he snuck in to this guy's lair and basically, gave himself superpowers. So he's the delinquent, and my powers are illusions and psychic weapons.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And so Philip, give everybody a quick rundown of Alari and her powers. And I know we did a little bit before we started rolling, but just so we have it.
Yep. Yeah, she has the mole craft at her disposal. She also has other subterranean technologies that can be useful, and she can dig pretty fast. It's really tough, and she has the density control, so she can change the density of herself and things she is touching.
Love it, love it. All right, so the first thing that we see is we're expecting, right? We would expect to see, where is it that these three heroes and one villain that's kind of retired, where would they have ended up? But instead, we begin in what, other than the fact that everything seems to have been carved out of dirt and clay, what could have been a very beautiful bedroom. The color palette is all like this dusky, burnt umber and siennas, and like everything's kind of taupe, but it's all dark and it's dim inside. And this is Alari's, her princess suite in the Mole King's underground lair, and for some reason she's here visiting. I don't know, Alari, are you here because of, like, you had to attend a wedding, or did somebody pass away? I mean, weddings and funerals, that's why you go back home, right? So yeah. What's going on?
Last time I went here to punch a dinosaur, so I guess this time it's less exciting, and yep, I guess it's a wedding.
Awesome, awesome. So you're here to watch one. Is it a close relative or just an ally of the Mole King in the underground?
It's an ally.
It's an ally. Okay, cool. Now, so you're there. What is it that when we first come up on the scene, when we first see the few panels of Alari, what is she doing in her? This is your old room, right? How do we know that you haven't been here in a while?
I guess there's a shelf with like little figurines of supervillains, and they're a bit dusty. There's a desk with homework from some kind of
homework.
Something that's piled up there, and there's a big folder and plans of some Bush League supervillain stuff. Like when she was 14 and planned to take over the world, those plans are still there, and she's would be a bit embarrassed about them. And yeah, I guess we see this in the light of her of the screen of her cell phone that she brought down here, and she has no reception. Just annoyed about that.
No reception whatsoever. I love that.
Late.
Is there like a photo or something that like a framed photo of like you and like the mayor or something like saving the day that like you're putting up on your desk or something like that?
Like from I don't really live here anymore, so no, I don't put that up, but I might turn around a photo of me with posing with some embarrassing stunt boat supervillain.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Cool. So you're in here, and not long after, you just come in, you settle down your bags. Your father, the Mole King, who in the animated version of this game is voiced by Wallace Shawn. If you don't know that actor's name, he is the inconceivable guy from Princess Bride. Okay? All right, just give you a picture. If you take a look on NPCs and stuff, I have a picture of the Mole King directly beneath Ilsa Ronsky, the snapping turtle. So he's also very just fire plug big, but not necessarily muscular. Robes. He has this very cool looking staff that he uses. And he the door opens, right? And it's one of those, it's not actually like a physical door. He also has elemental powers, so he just moves the door. And he comes in. Oh, Alari, I'm so glad that you're here. Would you believe that I have already provided entertainment for the entire wedding party?
Dad, I told you you have to knock. What if I was naked in here?
Oh, I've seen all of your goodies. Don't you worry about it.
Dad.
Alari.
Yes.
I brought out the Umber Hulks. I brought out the Umber Hulks because we have intruders.
Intruders.
Come, watch the party. And he turns around. He starts
I saw the Umber Hulks. I saw the Umber Hulks do their job before. You always bring out the Umber Hulks.
I love the Umber Hulks. I've worked so long on them. You know, not all of the monsters are easily created, but the Umber Hulks, I have the perfect formula.
They are so 80s, Dad.
Okay, then we cut away to hashtag cell phone, as he's looking on his phone, and it's the exact same. It's like a mirror image of the earlier when Alari was looking. She has no reception. You have no reception, and the four of you are kind of all lying on a cave floor.
Whether I had reception was obviously the first thing I checked as soon as I was out of what's his name's house. Even if I'm in like some like shadowy dungeon, that's the first thing.
Nice. So yeah, you're checking your reception. We have the green glow that shows the figures as you guys are slowly starting to come to. There's a phosphorescent moss, and you see a bunch of stalactites, stalagmites, right? And this is this huge cavernous place that somehow the shadow has brought you here. And Snapping Turtle, she starts standing up. Great. Good work, Shadow. I take back what I said.
Where are we? Where did you take us?
Well, guys, I sometimes I don't know. I don't know where this place is. I turn to hashtag, and I say, you have a good sense of direction. Where are we?
I don't have a good sense of direction. I have Google Maps, and right now that's not working. I have no idea where we are. I mean, you're the one that brought us here. There's no way you can just flare up those powers again and we'll go right back, or preferably to somewhere that does have cell phone reception.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay, so, I guess what do we got to do? Do we got to get you, so upset that you triggered your powers? I mean, come on, Snapping Turtle. Say whatever you said again.
We could just see about going home.
Well, if we're here for a little bit, let's look around, figure out where we are. There's got to be somebody here. I mean, we couldn't have just been brought here for no reason whatsoever. There's got to be something here.
Nice. I thought it seemed like hashtag might have been trying to provoke someone there, but so you guys, Sika suggests that you guys look around for a little bit. You have a cell phone light. Does anyone else have any way that you're going to try to make it a little bit brighter in the cave? I don't know. I mean, like, there's an illusion. I don't think that anybody's powers necessarily. Psychic weapons and illusions don't necessarily create light.
I don't know. I mean, so I've got on my, sort of mask, I do have the ability to take pictures. Would it make sense for me to have a flash?
Heck yeah. You just turn the flash on. You know it's going to kill your battery, though.
So I'll use it sparingly then, but I guess if that's the best that we got, then I'll take it.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a little bit of CG lighting effects. Poof, the glasses come on. And then you hear, and of course, there's like a huge onomatopoeia, rumble, and popping out of from behind stalagmites are a half dozen of these huge creatures. Now, have any of your characters ever played Dungeons and Dragons before?
I'm gonna say hashtag has, but he's too cool to admit it.
Okay. Admit it or not. 6 Umber Hulks have crawled from the ground, like they've somehow burrowed underneath very quickly, and they all rise up and they stand like 7 feet tall. They're just gargantuan creatures, and they start moving forward. What do you do?
I think we're going to. We've got some guests. They don't look very happy. And like, I think with that, like, I try to like look around and try to find like a
Why
place
don't you
where
assess the situation?
Sure. Dun, dun, dun. Assess is with superior, correct?
It is. Yeah, roll with superior.
All right. Oh yeah, I got a 3 because
so you get a potential.
I do.
Yes, you do.
So like I was probably like looking around for like just a place like we could bottleneck them or doing something, but I probably just like missed one of the Umber Hulks or something as like it came up behind me or something like that.
Yeah, so you're looking around, you back into what you think's a stalactite, right? But then it is, unfortunately, it is like one of the tree's trunk-sized legs of an Umber Hulk, and it backhands you. I want you to take a powerful blow. You don't have any conditions that I recall from last session.
Nope, but I still got a mixed result of a 9.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, so close, so close.
So
by the way, you guys are in a fight. Who is the leader of the team right now? Who's team leader?
It might be me just because I started doing something, but other than that, I don't know.
All right. So now you start with 1 team to the pool, and I just added 2 teams to the pool because you're entering a battle against a dangerous foe as a team, whether you like it or not. And you can't really spin team on taking a powerful blow because it works the other way around.
Yep.
Cool. So on a 7 to 9, you can choose one. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I think I'm going to let's start like lashing out verbally. No, let's struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Oh, okay, good leader.
Yeah, I'll be a good leader and take 2 conditions. So what 2 conditions do I end up taking?
Oh, well, here, I'll describe the action.
I'll figure it out.
You can choose, but it's a backhand, and then we see a panel of you like crashing over a couple of stalactites, and you slam into Snapping Turtle.
Okay.
And she takes like a half step back.
So I think I'm going to take guilty because I feel like I should have seen that coming, and like I need to be better about it. And then I'll probably take angry as well, just because I'm frustrated that we're in this situation, and the easiest way to get out of this is to basically be aggressive about it, even though that may not be the best thing for my stats.
Yes, be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yep.
And now I want to spell it. Okay, it's just because it's a cheer here in the South. I don't know if you guys heard that in the South, right? All right, cool. So Shadow, you just saw this, and a big, huge bug monster creature just backhanded the crap out of Sika.
Right.
What
So Sika, and the Shadow rushes forward and kind of spreads his cloak to envelop the beetle creature. This is going to be vitality absorption, and I'm going to try to use my powers to.
Oh, nice! I look. The last time you used your powers, it went so well. Unleash your powers.
Okay. So what is that? Is use your powers.
Roll plus freak. And your freak is a 2, so you just rolled 8. You get a 10.
Okay.
On a hit, you do it. And a 7 to 9, you would have had to mark a condition. So how is it? What do we see? What do we see from this Umber Hulk thing when you do it? Like you take it out. What happens?
So what this looks like is basically the cloak comes up. You see kind of a almost like a black hole of a body. It's very it almost absorbs the light from the little strobe camera that we have.
Nice.
And then the on the next panel, the Umber Hulk kind of has part of its body in that absence of light, and it's being pulled in, and then boop, it's just gone, and all you see is that absence of light body that's left.
So it's not like Umber Hulk husk. It's just gone.
It's just gone someplace else.
Wow.
Which is kind of a reference to we just came someplace else. Isn't that weird? Yeah.
So just so I'm clear, an Umber Hulk doesn't show up back at the training room, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Because that would be hilarious. Okay, cool. So yeah, you do that drain, and then I want to get a reaction from hashtag. So you just saw both of these things happen. Your light dim a little bit. And there's an Umber Hulk that's crashing towards you. It's picked up. It's broken off one of the stalagmites into a big, like, stone club, and it's gonna thwack you. What do you do? Hashtag.
Well, I'm gonna try to duck out of the way and maybe try to fool these guys with an illusion. Do I have to roll to get out of danger though with this guy's attacking me?
No. I think it's kind of simultaneous. If you pull off your illusion, then you will be able to get out of it. So are you directly engaging the threat then with your? Are you trying to?
I'm trying to invoke a delinquent move, which are you watching closely when you mislead, distract, or trick someone?
Oh, cool. Okay, I like it. So yeah, let's say go ahead and roll plus superior. And the trick is that you're what? Are you creating a mirror image double of yourself or what?
So I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, well, these are some big bugs, but maybe I can conjure an even bigger spider to sort of, scare these guys off or mess with their heads a bit or freak them out and,
So you're summoning a Drider? Is that what you're doing?
A big spider, yeah.
big Drider, okay.
Drider, yeah.
Sorry, you could tell the artist, but for some reason he's going to put a person's body on top of that spider.
Okay, well that's not going to be good enough. I think that's going to be a 4, 5, 6. So not quite there.
Sweet. So you summon up. Oh, sorry, Yosh.
Can I help? Like what? Like as soon as
absolutely, you could help.
So like as soon as I get knocked back, like I think like I can see that hashtag needs just a little bit of time. So like I'm just going to run in and charge and like shoulder first into the one that's like coming after him, just to like distract it enough that like he has that little extra moment of time to get the illusion off. And while it's like looking at me, like just like knock it in the side so it pays attention to me just for that moment to give hashtag enough.
Perfect. Cool. So spin the team, and that will push you up to 7 to 9. So yeah, what happens on the 7 to 9 from that particular move? Is there a...
So I get to choose 2 on a 7 to 9 from a list, and the 4 options are: you get an opportunity, expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them for some time, and avoid further entanglement. I want to confuse them for some time, and I'll say we expose a weakness or flaw as well.
Sweet. Okay, so you pull off this Drider illusion, and 3 of the Umber Hulks move over, and they start swiping at it, and it's huge, right? It starts climbing up on one of the stalagmites and moving around, and they just completely confused by this thing, and they're chasing after it. At the same time, you hear like a bunch of stones being moved, and off to your left, Shadow, you kind of catch this first. You see that there is a huge like opening in the cave wall, and there is a retinue of people, mostly Alari, the Mole King, and some of the other wedding party guests who are now watching you guys in this huge cavernous area fighting Umber Hulks. And Mole King says, "See what I told you? This is amazing!" And you recognize Shadow, Alari, down there fighting for your amusement. So what do you do, Alari, when this is revealed to you by your father?
I know this guy. We are friends. You can't just throw my friends to the Umber Hulks.
Oh, they seem to be accounting themselves well. Don't worry. I'm sure that not all of them will die.
No, I won't let you do this. If I have to beat this Umber Hulks myself, I will do it. But
ooh, are you trying to provoke him into calling off the Umber Hulks?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Do it. Okay, so we understand what you're trying to do. Roll plus superior.
And it is not showing my dice.
You have a 3 superior. Holy crap!
Yeah,
you are super superior. Awesome. So yeah, if you just tell me what you roll, that's good. I trust you.
5 and 6.
You rolled a 5 and a 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
on a 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. So what is it that you want him to call off the Umber Hulks?
Yep.
Oh. He slams his little scepter into the ground, and the Umber Hulks who were fighting the Drider, they all kind of look up with their weird bug eyes, and the Umber Hulk that was facing off with Snapping Turtle, they all scuttle back. They do that the Skeksis thing, not the Skeksis, but you remember the big, again from Dark Crystal, those huge bug type creatures. They start doing that backing up thing, and they start moving back.
Gartham. They're called Gartham.
You're the best, Steven. Thank you. Also, so the Gartham start the Umber Hulks, but they do it that Gartham backtrack thing, and one of them actually crawls into its little hole and starts backing out. Well, you need to find some other way that they will entertain the wedding party, Alari.
Yeah, let's see about that. Yo, Shadow, what are you doing here?
Hey, Alari, it's great to see you. Where is here?
This is the Mole Kingdom. You know where I come from?
Yeah, I turn back to hashtag into Sika, and I go, hey, it's the Mole Kingdom. We're great. We have friends.
All right.
I kind of like look up at the the audience where like the Mole King is. I'm like, I think your friends might not be our friends.
Hmm. Alari, hey, how can we get to you? Can you come down or can we come up?
Dad, can you make them stairs or something? We don't have to scream, please, please.
He looks around at the different wedding party. There's one, like, I'm trying to think, like, what's like an underground creature? Oh yeah, so like, there's this worm person. This is one of the allies that's being married, and there's no like, this artist was just a huge worm, and he's oh, he was so entertained by the fight.
Yeah, it's not my fault his wedding is so boring.
So, and then the stone starts to move, right? And it all moves out in a big thing, and then it pops down into different steps, and eventually will come down to the cave floor. And you guys will do a quick couple panels. You guys moving up, and we see the actual stairs start crushing. Like Snapping Turtle comes up last, and she crushes a couple of them, and eventually she just pops up her little jet boots thing and then comes into land. And Snapping Turtle and Mole King, they go off and they evidently know each other, and they go off to talk to each other for a moment or two there. And
So I go up to Alari. Have you ever seen the Snapping Turtle before? You should
No.
keep your eyes on her, because she's not one of us. She's mean.
Yeah, if she gets along with Dad, she probably is. But that's how we roll down here. So you kind of walked into being this worm guy's wedding entertainment.
A wedding?
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you getting married?
No.
Oh.
Oh. Who's getting married?
This worm guy, and I guess he's marrying some kind of other worm person, or yeah, probably a gender swapped clone of himself, like the worm people do.
It's the best.
Well, so if we're crashing the wedding, where do we go? Like, where are we in the wedding? Like, what is this like? Has it started? Like, is it already over? Are we already to the after party? Like, were we the after party?
Where am I?
So I think what Sika's asking is, has the wedding already taken place? That's completely up to you. Do you, Olari, is it the wedding is about to happen? It's already happened, and this was the after party, like reception entertainment?
Yeah, we're just starting the after party, like an appetizer.
So this was the reception, the entertainment at the after wedding reception, right? So there's like this huge bowl, like this huge punch bowl type thing, and there are different underground creatures that are scooping it out and getting cups and putting in their weird appendages to drink and talk about hobnob about other things. Yeah, what's the music that's playing? Is it like human music, or is it some weird phonic vibrations, or what?
No, for sure it has to be human music. It's that's Troglodyte. He lives upstairs in the upper world too, and he is like the wedding DJ.
Nice, you have a DJ Trog? Okay, cool. All right, so DJ Trog is mixing a little bit of music right now. It's mostly just like heavy bass stuff, so it vibrates everywhere. They're super.
It's like old school music, because us young kids, we listen to something completely different. So I kind of take Alari, kind of a little bit aside, and I say, "It happened again. I'm so sorry. We didn't, I don't have full control over things, and we didn't mean to crash the wedding. We'll leave if you want us to."
No, it's super boring. I have nothing to talk with those people. None of them know anything. They don't watch shows. They just watch, bug creatures fight. That's their entertainment. Like, oh, this bug is so great, and none of them even saw Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So like as soon as you say like we can stick, like we can leave, like you cut to a frame of Sika, who's already just like walking away from you guys and like going to the tables and like with her like magic like weaponry, it's like growing little like flower decorations on the tables and just like putting them all over the place and like starting to decorate with flowers, which probably are totally out of place with the rest of the decorations. Like there are these like pink and purple flower blossoms on the tables, but I'm still going around and doing it anyways.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. And I could see the artist rendition of it, right? Because everything's this deep browns and grays, and here are these little purple and yellow flowers. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Yes.
And I'm walking around excitedly but quietly taping everything because my camera's working again and I'm at a freaking worm person wedding. Like, this is going to be incredible footage once I get this up.
No one has ever been to the Mole Kingdom before.
Right. And hopefully none of them figure out that I'm taping everything because...
Shadow,
I'm
you're
going
going
to take Lori's hand and see if she wants to dance. Let's dance! And I pull her out on the dance floor.
Yeah, sure.
If there's not a dance floor, we'll go into the arena, wherever that is. Yeah.
No, there's totally. Laurie could easily make a dance floor. That's great. So you guys start dancing. We have hashtag is just record. He's basically the wedding photographer.
Yeah.
And so that's great. This is fun. I did not imagine that you guys would be in the reception. This is so fun. Cool. So we'll cut over to Sika. Sika, the worm creature, like moves over near you and starts like following after all of the flowers that you're creating. It is like 6 feet long and it's about this big around. It does not have eyes or anything. It also doesn't have a mouth. So it's kind of difficult to communicate with a creature like that.
So like when I see it starting to follow around, like I just take a moment and like I start taking a bunch of the flowers and like I was like gonna pin one behind its ear, but it doesn't have an ear. So I'm like, and then like you see me like make like a halo like crown, like flower crown out of it, and it's like I come and like present it to it. I'm like, can I put this on your head?
Oh yeah, it's like worm head pins down.
Yeah, and so like it's like this pink and yellow flower crown that I just kind of like rest on top of its head, and I kind of like turn my head sideways. I'm like, it looks good.
Cool. The worm just it kind of quivers a little bit, and then it turns its slime trails back to the other worm, and then there's some kind of weird communication between the two of them, and the one larger worm that has. You kind of get the sense that it's not entirely sure what's going on here, but there's some more worm conversation between the two of them. As you're doing that, the Mole King makes his way over to you, Sika, and says, I think I knew your mother, or was it your grandmother? I'm not sure about how much time has passed up above in the light of the terrible sun.
Yes, it's probably my grandmother. My mother wasn't into the scene very much. Did you know her as Kitsune or as the Silver Fox?
I called her the foxy one. She's very attractive. Is she old now and decrepit?
No. Well, she is old, but she's not decrepit yet.
Well, she can kick my ass any day.
Yep. So I take it you two did not get along very well?
Oh, we fought many terrible battles as I attempted to take over the surface world. I have to say, of all of the heroes who defeated me, she was one of my favorite.
She does have that effect.
What about you? I see that you're with the Shadow. Larry can't stop going on about the Shadow.
Yeah, we're just kind of forming up. We were doing some training and somehow ended up here. But you seem to know the snapping turtle. That was who we were training with.
Oh, well. Yes, I know Elsa from way back. She's worked for me a few times. She's not a bad henchman. Why? I thought that you were heroic. knowing Alari and all of her good deeds.
Well, we do tend to be heroes here, but the Snapping Turtle was working with us to help make sure that we were capable in training with somebody with a little bit of live fire and higher action capability.
Well, would you be interested in fighting a Minotaur? I've got, it's not exactly a Minotaur. It's a guy with a bull's head, but he's very strong, and I have a labyrinth I can create. What do you think about that, Sika?
I think, and then like I take like a flower from there and like I like just like go and like put it behind his ear like as he's doing it, and I'm like, I think the wedding reception is probably better without a fight right now. And like I'm like look at all these people and they're dancing. I mean, like, look, your daughter is over there dancing with the shadow. Like, we don't need a fight. We can just dance and have fun.
Dancing. That does not look like a dance to the death to me at all.
You're right. I don't think it is a dance to the death.
We cut from that to the two Alari and Shadow dancing. You're dancing to the cool music that Alari insisted that DJ Trog would come down and spin. People, a lot of the reception, they're not entirely sure how to take this. The two of you dancing and not fighting and being peaceful, which is amusing. How is, yeah. So we kind of come into Alari and Shadow there. What do we see?
So Shadow starts talking to Alari as they dance and, you know, kind of bop to and fro about past deeds and, you know, how long it's been since I've seen her and what she's doing now and, you know, when she thinks she'll go home.
Yeah, as soon as possible. I just had to be here for this wedding, and yeah, it took a while, you know, seeing the parents. And you know, he's talking about an invasion, but there are no plans really. He's just all talk, and you know, it's pretty boring down here.
Well, so we've met your father. Can we meet your mother?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. So did you come down in your mole-mobile?
It's the mall craft, but yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So are these the people that you grew up with? Is this kind of normal for you?
Yeah, that's my crowd. We're more as a villains down here, and I spent a few years at a, you know, kind of a boarding school where I learned all the upward stuff that that seemed important. You know, it's not, most of it's like you get it easily, but some of it. So yeah, but this is basically where I grew up with this. That's Star Mole over there. That's a cousin, and
you see like a little panel with like a little like mushroom guy or something like that. And you're like, okay. And, you know, basically along the bottom of the page, you see these different panels of like this weird alien underground crowd.
Yeah.
And every once in a while in the background, you see like a flower or two from Sika.
Cool. So we cut away from that to the open bar that hashtag has found, and it looks kind of legit like a bar. There's a guy behind it who is dressed like a dwarf, except he's not exactly. He's like too tall to be a dwarf, but he's got this huge beard with like braids in it and everything. He's wearing armor, but you think it's like costume armor. And hashtag, what is it? What's the drink that you've asked for? Because you used to go into the club, right? You know all about this kind of stuff for a 16-year-old.
Right. Well, he's like 16, so he's probably in kind of like, you know, he's probably drinking like, he probably ordered like a Jaeger bomb or something a little bit silly and something that's you know, gonna get him kind of pumped up a little bit. Nice. Do they have that or the equivalent?
Yeah, the guy who you ordered from says, sure, I can do a Jaeger bomb, no problem. Yeah, no Jaegerbomb. You could say.
All
Now, if I
right.
remember Jaegerbomb, you like drop a shot in a.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's like about to drop a shot in a.
I
girl
ordered 3, all for myself.
Cool. So he's like pop, 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 and after you take the first Jaegerbomb, a girl comes up, and she comes up and she kind of puts her hand on your lower back, and she reaches over casually and grabs a couple of hors d'oeuvres off the top of the head of a myconid that's just walking by, like a little mushroom dude. His head is basically like the serving tray type deal, and she has like a little cracker, and she's got elfin ears, but white hair and jet black skin, and she just takes it. And when she does, you notice that like the inside of her mouth is not jet black, and you think that maybe she has a smell of makeup, but you're not sure. And she crunches on it. She's like, "Hey, what are you supposed to be?"
I am a superhero, in fact, with some pretty sweet powers. How about you? I didn't know there were people-ish things down here. What are you up to, lady?
Oh, she's in. Just so we're clear, the artist has gone crazy. She's like a Frank Frazetta painting.
Okay.
And she says, "Oh, just call me Lolitu. I'm a I don't know if it's a drow or a dro. I'm not sure. I'm just entertainment. Superheroes. I didn't know he was into that. Interesting.
We ended up here, pretty much by accident. How long you been down here in this little mole kingdom?
Oh, I arrived with the wedding party. I'm just, part of the entertainment.
What kind of entertainment?
Oh, the Mole King is really into this game, Dungeons and Dragons thing. He's just kind of crazy
really?
about it.
Wait, I didn't know drow were real. I mean, I'm familiar with the whole superhero thing, but this is crazy. How did I not know about this?
No, I'm not a drow. This is like black makeup. It comes off. It's a bitch to take off. But yeah, I don't think they're real. I mean,
Okay.
maybe.
So where are you? Are you actually from like the surface, or like what's your deal?
The surface. I'm from Halcyon City. Wait, your hashtag. I watch your show.
Yeah, that's you're actually on it right now.
What? You have perception?
We're not going live till I get back.
But house and she pulls out her phone. I don't have reception. How do you have reception?
I don't have reception, but the camera works, and this is all going on later. I mean, this party is freaking amazing. I mean, this is I didn't know that people like you were even allowed down here in the Mole Kingdom. I mean, this is the first time, as far as I know, that an outsider from Halcyon City has been down here.
Oh man, So you're talking animatedly with Lilitu. That's her name. And the dwarf bartender, you don't quite notice this, but his eyes get a little wide when you're just bragging that this is all going on YouTube and everything. He goes over and he like pops on a little like an old style like Fantastic Four communicator, and he's like, and little red light comes on to indicate it, right? Because that's how it works. All right, and so we'll cut away from you. We cut back to Sika. So you've entertained. You gave the floral arrangement. You see the hashtag is talk to a girl. You've got Shadow and Alari are dancing. There are a number of other people. Makani comes along with some hors d'oeuvres. It's like, take it off my head. Take it off my head. Yeah, Sika, it seems that the Mole King has given up on you. Like, you're not going to do anything entertaining? Whatever. Walks away.
So like I think like with that I take like one of the hors d'oeuvres, and like you see Sika like almost like prancing like a deer, like bounding between like things as like she's like jumping around and just like putting more flowers on things. But like now that she's like put a flower in the Mole King's ear and like a crown on the other people, she's going around and just like decorating everybody. She's like everybody that she can put flowers on and do things like that's what she's off to doing, and then like just basically trying to raise the level of color here. And then if people start like being receptive, I think she's going to try to start dragging people down to the dance floor to join with everybody else.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah. So you are pulling people into dance. Of course, the artists are having a great time with adding more and more dashes of color. There's all kinds of things. Even the gutter occasionally there'll be flowers that will move from one panel to the next. And at one point, you're asking one of the Mole King's like cousins if he wants to hit the dance floor, and that's when the Mole King you overhear him on his little communicator, and he's like, "What are you saying? They're filming all of this? No one must know the powers of the Mole Kingdom. Destroy them."
So like I overhear the communication, and I kind of like look to where hashtag is, because like if somebody's filming something, it has to be hashtag.
Yeah, you see hashtag. He's talking to a woman in dark black. Well, she's got jet black skin, like
so like
skin.
I take the like cousin that I was leading to the dance floor. I'm like, "I'm sorry, dear, but I have to go grab one of my friends. They seem to be not dancing, and they need to be dancing right now. I'll be right back." And like I walk over to hashtag.
Cool.
And,
as you're walking over, hashtag's very much engaged with talking with Lolitu. He does not see, but we see behind him is the dwarf bartender. He's gone up. He's come back up with a two-handed axe, and he draws back like he's just going to thwack hashtag. What do you do?
I think I am going to pick up like whatever is closest to me, which is probably like a chair or a table or something like that. And like, I'll just like pick it up and like yell at hashtag. I'm like, "Duck." And as I like hurl the table across like the whole big open way towards the bar.
That's amazing. When you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll plus savior.
I got an 11.
Oh, wow. So on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. Okay, so yeah, and choose one. For PC threats, on a hit, no, that's something else. Because the PC isn't being threatened. NPC is threatening your friend. So it doesn't cost you, but you get to choose one. You can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone that you protected, hashtag or Lolitu, or clear a condition of your own.
Let's clear one of my conditions. Let's clear the angry condition, because I don't think I'm very angry anymore. There's a wedding going on.
You've definitely been working that on.
Yeah, how could I be angry? There's so much fun to go on. It's a wedding.
I love it. Cool. So hashtag Lolitu is busy giving you her number, and a chair flies past you as you hear. What was it that? What was it that Sika said?
I just said duck.
Duck! And then bam, this chair hits the bartender and he flies back. He's arms up and he slams into all the bottles and everything that were set up, and they crash down, right? And we have all kinds of cool art with the glass flying everywhere. Lolito screams out like, "Oh my God!" And she drops her phone, and there's all this like black fingerprints from her makeup coming off onto her phone that we see in just like one small corner of the panel. And so that dwarf guy had the bartender had a big honking axe, and you just got your butt saved by Sika hashtag, and you think there might be other threats. You're not sure. What do you do?
So I'm going to like take a second and size things up, kind of look around, see if there's anybody else closing in on us, keeping an eye out for the Mole King as well to kind of see what he's up to, because it's clear that something's quickly changed that I hadn't even noticed.
Cool. All right. So you're looking around. Why don't you assess the situation?
All right. Oh, no. That's not going to be a hit. That's going to be some potential right there.
Yes, you get a potential hashtag. Cool. So we're going to cut away from you for a second. We come back down to the dance floor. There's some other people that are dancing around, but Shadow and Alari, you guys have caught up. Alari was very elusive about her mother, and then all of a sudden you see this like fight at the bar start to break out.
So I think what this looks like on the panel is basically Shadow's talking to Alari, and behind her head, you see the swipe of the chair as it goes across the bar,
Yep.
and kind of Sika on one side and hashtag on the other. And, the shadow kind of says, so do these kinds of parties usually end in fights? Because I think we're going to have one.
Not this. I turn around and look at where hashtag is standing. What the fuck is your friend doing there? Is he filming this?
Well, that's his thing, right? You've seen hashtag before, right? Oh,
Yeah. Well,
I need to
that's
introduce
hashtag.
yeah.
Wow, I didn't recognize him right away, but yeah, of course I saw. But he just rolls into somebody else's wedding and starts filming for the internet.
Sure. I mean, that's what you do. Have you not been to a wedding before? Everybody pulls out their phones and, especially at the reception, and tags all their friends.
Yeah, usually they are invited.
Oh, true. Very true. Maybe we should go talk to him. I think that there's going to be more than talking going on here shortly.
Yeah, they can be a bit of a rough crowd.
Cool. So you guys had that conversation, and what happens? Hashtags. You look around and you see that the Mole King, he's moved forward and he's on the edge of the little. Say that like the dance floor was like a couple steps down, right? It's kind of like a circular, almost like a mini arena. He has a theme, but he's moved around the arena and he slams his little staff with these crazy jewels on top. He slams it into the ground. You feel all these rumbles, and he says, "None shall see the wonders of the Mole Kingdom. You will meet my latest creation, the Bahir." And so then you crashing through one of the walls is this weird purple dinosaur-ish type deal that actually has arms. Here, let me link you guys to a picture for those who don't know what a Bahir is. So there you go. Is this thing? It is like 15 feet long. It keeps coming out of the hole, and it is coming towards you, and it grabs you up into its arms, hashtag, and it starts like squeezing you. I need you to take a powerful blow.
This is like great footage, though. This is killer.
It's the best. Thank God for GoPro.
No, I don't think that went very well because we don't want that 10, right? Yeah.
We so want that 10. That is amazing.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I can.
You rolled a 10?
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Okay, cool. And take a powerful blow. On a 10, you can choose one. Remove yourself from the situation, lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
We've done the lose control of yourself or your powers, but that's a fun one, so I kind of wanted to do that here.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. It would be interesting if maybe hashtag just kind of, I don't know, like, let's see. So ideas, illusions. Of course, like if 20 hashtags show up because he's trying to dodge out of the way.
Well, I was thinking if he losing control of the powers, maybe like just because previously he was summoning driders, or spiders thing, but like the loss of control is more like it's even more in theme with the Mole King's like thing. Like he illusions started getting creating, but like maybe there's like now like a pile of like illusionary gold and like just a bunch of like D&D other crap that just starts showing up. And
actually, maybe this is a flashback to like what you said you'd played. Your character had played D&D.
Yeah.
The heroes show up, and basically you see like a knight and a knight and a paladin and all that kind of stuff.
This is a terrible way. I love it. So yeah. If you're good with it, then hashtag you go back to, what were you, like 12? You were in the basement with your buddies. It was this Underdark campaign that you went through where one of the DMs wanted to do Mordor, but you guys went for Underdark because that was the hotness. And so, yeah, we have these weird heroes that come in, and there's this gold, and the Bahir has you, and you're wearing... I don't know, what class did you play, hashtag, at that time?
What class did I play? I'll say you played a thief.
Oh, sweet. So you've got like a little hoodie on and like leather armor and a couple of daggers, and it doesn't look like, what level were you at the time? You were in Underdark, so
I'll say we were level 9.
level 9. Awesome. Yeah, so you got some pretty dope looking.
Oh no, I think Rich froze. I totally want the illusion. Yeah, you froze for a sec. You're back.
Oh shoot! Thank God. Oh. One time I froze, and I could still hear people.
Some dope stuff. He froze when you said he had some cool stuff on him.
Okay. Am I?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Got nervous. Yeah, so the Behir, now Lilitu is riding the Behir. And yeah, so like some fighters come in and they're trying to take you down. They're all on your side, hashtag, and they're calling you by your rogue's name, which is like some kind of joke name, right? Because you were 12.
Right. Oh, it's a good joke name. I don't know.
Silent but deadly.
Jimbo Baggins.
Yeah, my character was named just like, Bilbo Baggins, basically.
Yeah, Jimbo Baggins. We good with
Jimbo
that?
Baggins, yeah.
Jimbo Baggins. Cool. Yeah, so the paladin who's in this like shining armor purple cloak, right? Just more like a cape. He's got the wings on his helmet kind of thing. He's got the big handlebar mustache, right? And he's got this kick-ass of like warhammer, and he says, Jimbo, we shall defeat this Behir. And, they go straight into the Behir, and this say like there's a couple of panels of madness at this point. The Mechanids are running around. What is it that Alari's doing in this madness? Your father is delighted. This is the best wedding reception of his entire life.
Yeah, I'm like giant hands, palm in front of my face. Oh, Dad, you can't just summon a Dorkosaurus and start cosplaying at other people's weddings. It's so embarrassing.
I don't even know what cosplaying is. This is amazing.
What will the warm guys think?
Oh, I love that exasperated sigh. Okay, yeah. So your dad is like, he's in seventh heaven. He's absolutely adoring this huge fight that's going on. It doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, Ari. And there's just too much chaos going on. Shadow's still like near you. Hashtags seems to be okay. Like the paladins thwack the Behir and it dropped him. What are you doing, Alari?
So hashtag basically is just enabling my dad. That's always great if your friends gets along well with your dad. That's best impression you want to make. How is Sika? Is she in any danger? Or?
I don't know. What does Sika get mixed up into when this fight breaks out?
So I probably like, as soon as like everything goes crazy, like I kind of want like part of the illusion is like maybe I'm joining the party, like as like I got cosplayed into illusion. So like I have like I almost imagine, because I was doing like the flower thing, like that I got cast as the mage, and so like I have like the over the top like pointy hat that's like stars and moons on it, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, why am I in robes and like celestial things, like, and like I'm like holding like a staff. I'm like, what is going on here?
You got a little rock that keeps flying around your head for no apparent reason.
Yeah, and so like I'm kind of like looking at this stuff and like looking at hashtag, and I'm like, I kind of just like shrug, and then I'm like, all right, I'll go with it, and just like started like charging with the paladin, like taking like the staff, like not doing magic whatsoever, just like eating things with like the staff.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, so that's what Sika's doing.
Yeah, I know if I would join, I would grow a beard, probably that would be the best case of me getting roped into some kind of cliche dwarven role that is not cute at all, that I wouldn't want. So I go to the bar and I take a button and take some wine cooler and I drink it.
Okay, just sit down at the bar, which is like all the bottles are still broken down, right? You can just reach over and grab a drink and drink a wine. What is the Shadow up to right now with hashtag still trying to backstab the Bahir or something, and Sika staff whacking onto the huge worm creature?
So I see all this kind of silliness going on. I look back and forth, and I see these, fantasy heroes suddenly in the mix, and I kind of shake my head. And whenever the Bahir kind of lurches, it kind of hits the ground and shakes everything. And I think that reminds me of the snapping turtle. So I take a look around to see where the snapping turtle is.
The snapping turtle, she has stayed out of this fight, but she's been watching you and the others, mostly you. Right? She's got those weird snapping turtle bug robot eyes, but you get the feeling that she's just been keeping an eye on you.
So she's kind of off. Is she still with the Mole King? Or
the Mole King is all about this big fight. They've stopped talking, and she just kind of hung at the periphery. She's that wallflower. Like, she just kind of wallflowered, effectively, at this point.
So I think I'm going to start working my way through the crowd and the mass towards her.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You can get right up to her, and she will...
Yeah. And go ahead.
What do you want?
I kind of lean up against the wall next to her and kind of say, well, what do you think of this?
Silly.
Sure, but we are in a place called the Mole Kingdom, so I think they're enjoying it.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yes. So, tell me about the Raja.
Ooh, you want to provoke her into giving you some information here?
I'm not sure provoke is the right word, but this is sort of like sparring. Yeah, sure.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, provoke. Yeah, it's the terminology of the rules, but yeah, I get you. You're mostly trying to stoke some information out of her. Oh wow, is that what I see?
And it's superior.
Yeah,
-1. So that's
still
a 10.
though.
Yeah,
that is a 10. Awesome. So they rise to the bait and do what you want. So yeah, you want her to get some information on the Raja, she says.
yeah.
The Raja offered me a body if I came in and killed you.
Oh. What makes you believe the Raja?
He offered. Why, do you think he's lying?
That would be his MO. That's what he normally does, don't you think? It's not like I'm here because he told me, pretty puppy stories.
He says you're going to kill him.
Well, if I don't, he messes up lives like yours and mine more.
Can't really read an expression on like a giant robot turtle's face, but there's obviously a long moment of like an entire panel of consideration there. I am tiring of this body. It is breaking. I do not wish to become inert. But maybe he is lying.
Have you how long have you been in this body?
60 years.
I think it takes a while to adjust to, but this is normal. As you get older, your body does deteriorate, right?
I don't like that.
Yes. So the Raja promised you a body, but he knows, of course, that's what you want. And you wanted to kill me. What about the rest of them?
Oh, they don't matter.
Are you still going to do it?
Probably.
Okay. Well, I wish you wouldn't, but I guess that's the way the the chips fall. And I'll start to walk away.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
She lets you walk away. She doesn't sucker
Okay.
punch you.
Okay.
She's still debating it.
Right, right.
Cool. So let's roll past this tumultuous, chaotic combat, right? Because I think it's neat on the page, but I don't necessarily want to go through a bunch of round for round. It's a little crazy.
And I actually like, while we have this discussion about, I'm going to kill you, there's like these, panels of, things flying by and people running away. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like arrows, like a hail of arrows, magic missiles, a stool, a maconid, some worms, splutter juice kind of going on. Yeah, it's definitely madcap. So we could go for an hour and a half. It's been good, solid stuff. Let's take a 5-minute bio break. When we come back, we're going to talk about like how did you guys get out? How did you extricate yourself from this fight? And we will start to deal with a bit of aftermath. Cause we can, if we engage it right, we could possibly lead into some other moves that you guys would see on your playbook for celebrations and team moves like triumphant celebrations or sharing vulnerabilities and that kind of stuff. Okay?
I might have contacted my people.
You might. Indeed. I think we should do that too. Cool.
Yeah.
So let's take a 5-minute break and we'll hit all of those pieces during the aftermath of this. Okay?
Yep.
Let's get a break. All right. So before we went to break, I suggested that we kind of roll out of the chaos that was the wedding reception and talk about that aftermath. So how is it Alari, I think Alari's right, the good key. This is home turf. So how is it Alari extracts Shadow and her friends, and unfortunately Snapping Turtle, out of the chaotic wedding reception?
I think I stopped the fighting by taking up a glass and clanging a fork to it and doing doing a little speech like, "Though Cassonius, you truly found someone like yourself, and that is admirable. It truly takes someone who's really confident with who they are to marry their own gender-swapped clone, and I admire that, and I wish you the best of luck and many more clones in the future. And this wedding was entertaining, but it should be about yourself too. And so I think we all had great fun with this display my father, the great Mole King, put on. But for now, that's we should give you some kind of privacy, and all the surface people who were there, they provided entertainment, but they don't really belong here, as you know. And I will take it upon myself to bring them up. But I wish you all the best, and may you slither ever forward.
It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Then we go, there are a couple of pages of ads in the middle. It's like Christian Dior. I don't even know how they got that account. And then we come back and you guys are on the Kirby Craft, right? And I think maybe Lilitu is here, DJ Trog, he packed up his stuff, the Snapping Turtles just sitting at the back, and then the four of you, but you're driving. So what's the interior of your awesome mole craft look like?
Yeah, it's pretty underworld designs, so it clearly comes from this kingdom, but I tried to make it a bit cuter, like maybe some pastel cowl seat coverings, and some fuzzy dice on. But there's not really a mirror, but they're up there.
Don't you have a mirror, but you have fuzzy dice hanging from the mirror. That's awesome. Cool. So hashtag, what are you up to while burrowing through the earth towards the surface?
And
are you still dressed as a thief?
No, I'm back to my normal self. And kind of like, hanging out in the back, editing the footage, getting it all together, because I want to post this like as soon as we get back. And we got some golden stuff in here. I mean, the Behair or whatever it was called, like sees me at one point, so I got a good close up. Got tons of mole people and worm people in there. So all told, I mean, like I'm really excited for this footage.
Nice.
Yeah, but hey, dude, don't make my dad look like too much of a dork. He has a reputation. It's kind of my reputation too. So
he's a mole king.
A bit of favorable editing here.
You know what? No one's gonna notice if like the Mole King seems like a little bit, crazy. I mean, he's a giant mole guy. I mean, that's what they're gonna notice.
Yeah, I'm a giant mole girl too. So
look, I can, he summoned a giant monster against us. I mean, he's fighting
stuff, but don't have him scream any D&D stuff in there or.
That's the part that you're worried about. He's like having, people on combat at a wedding, and you're worried about the D&D stuff.
Yes, of course. Combat at the wedding. That won't damage his reputation. But the Superman community is cutthroat.
Alari, listen. I know what it's like to have somebody that you're always in the shadow of, and like it's not great. Like, you have to live up to the expectations of what you are relative to them. But like, I think you can do it. Like, I think you can make your own image, and like, even if your dad gets cast as this person who really loves D&D and all of that stuff, that's his baggage. Don't make that yours. Like, take it upon yourself to be something different and better. I mean, he was working with the snapping turtle and fought against my grandmother. Like, that's him. That's not us. We can be better than that. Like, it's hard to be stuck in their shadows, but I think we can do it. I think we can get out of this.
Ooh, I think that Sika is trying to comfort or support Alari in her stress about her dad.
Yeah.
So when you cover or support someone, roll plus mundane on a hit they hear you, and they will mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you.
I got a middling result. I got an 8.
Okay. Wow, you're so mundane.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That is cool. So, Alari, you can mark a potential. You don't have any conditions, or you can shift labels if you open up and kind of listen to the comfort that you're getting from this girl, Sika, who you kind of sort of know, but don't really know. But she seems pretty decent. She brought flowers to the reception.
Yeah. I think she knows what she's talking about. I'm open to her comforting me.
Yeah.
Cool. So what does Alari do? What do we see that tells us that, Alari is listening to Sika and will be okay? Just let it go and let that be what your dad's deal.
Yeah, she kind of nods and agrees, and yeah, he sure let him be a dog. I'm already trying to be better to be better than him. I'm doing good for the people that up there. They are kind of weak and need protection and all that, but yeah.
So like, I kind of imagine like we have like a couple of interjected panels of like both my mom and your dad fighting like back and forth. Like, it's like the old like sepia tone, like it's supposed to be the old panels of like memories in between.
Yeah.
And then it's like the contrast, like you see them like butting heads and like fighting and exchanging like blows over Halcyon City, and then it's us like sitting in chairs like talking to each other, like totally the same profiles but like totally different like tone and background in between those two panel swaps.
Yeah, that's a good way to show it.
I love it. What is Shadow up to during this plot length long series of panels? You guys are headed up to the surface.
So, while this conversation is going on between Alari and Sika, Shadow's kind of, you see in the background, he's watching the two of them. And then you see kind of in the next panel, he's looking over at the snapping turtle, who's just silent in the corner. And maybe the craft is tilting a little bit down in that direction. And then he kind of looks down at his hands that kind of are there, but not there. They're just this dark area. And I think after all of this is done, the conversation with Alari kind of finishes. The Shadow kind of stands up and walks over and sits down next to Sika. And he kind of says, "So, I'm real sorry about because I think I've identified Sika as kind of the leader of this group with no name." And he says, "I'm sorry about the problem in the training room. I don't know what happened. I don't always have control over this, and I think it's I think it's going to end me one day, and I just don't really know, what to do about it. It's so difficult just to keep everything held together, and yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put anyone in danger.
Yeah, and so like I kind of like turn
Yeah,
to
that's
you,
right.
and I'm like, it's not just you. You're part of this team, and that's why we have each other. Like, you don't have to take this upon yourself. Like, um, let us help you get through this. I mean, that's why we had the training session in the first place, so we could figure out how we work together and how we can rely on each other. And so let us help you get through this, because just because the Raja is doing crazy ass things and it's going to cause problems, we can work together and we can get through that.
What I see is that you have a heavy responsibility on your shoulders, from probably brought on by your family and the history that you have with them. But you should know that the Raja has sent the snapping turtle out to kill me, but the snapping turtle is not going to be coming after any of the rest of you. So if I can make sure that the team doesn't get hurt any more than necessary from the snapping turtle, I'm going to make sure that that happens.
I kind of just like shake my head, and I'm like, that's so adorable. You think that you can go sacrifice yourself and keep us safe. That's not how this works. We're going to be here for you. And I like glance over at the snapping turtle. I'm like, if that's the way that's going to go down, we're not going to let that happen. And whether you want to try to be a noble sacrifice or not, you're not going to get that opportunity, because we're going to stop that from happening.
So I think that at this point, in the panels before this, there was this the shadow was kind of looking down, and his hands weren't clearly defined. They were kind of this black, amorphous shape. And I think at that point he looks back down and his hands are very solid, and he kind of, puts his, hand on the back of Sika and says, "I understand, thank you, and I really appreciate being a part of this family," and goes back where he was sitting originally. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Now, you've definitely shared a vulnerability, and with the Doomed playbook, you would give Sika influence over you. She doesn't have it already. And I think that you did ask, if there's any hope for you, and she said yes. So you can mark potential or clear one box of your Doom track. I think you wanted to pursue the Doom tracks in this, so go ahead and mark that potential.
That's right. Yeah.
That was cool. That's exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. It's beautiful. It's all going according to plan. Sorry, I just knew I wouldn't have another chance to do Hulking. So.
Well, we hear that over the video as hashtag is editing it.
Thank you, Yoshi. Sweet. So yeah, that moment happens between Shadow and Sika, and hashtag. So you edited the video. There was a bit of comfort and support that came from Sika over Alari's stress. Is there anything more the hashtag says with Alari? Like, you guys could share a triumphant celebration here as you go over the cool parts of the video.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm like, oh man, Alari, man, like, what's it like being from such a, cool, like, freaky underworld? I mean, this is just like so completely different from, what life is like up there.
Yeah, that's you get used to a lot of it.
I mean, what made you decide to come to the surface then? I mean, it seems like you've been hanging out mostly up top for a while.
Yeah, You know, I thought my dad lost his edge since he found this D&D supplements in some steam tunnels, and from then he he got into this whole. He wasn't trying to conquer anything anymore, really, just playing his games. And I thought, yeah, I would have to take his mantle and conquer the surface world. Kind of might have overestimated myself there, and but I saw that all the heroes and the what's the villains I knew from childhood really had done. So I decided to stick around and do some superheroics, like become a benevolent ruler.
And you don't harbor like the back of your head like any ambitions, like I still want to take over the world, like maybe like sometimes maybe you still kind of feel like it.
Yeah, you're not filming this, huh?
I am. Yes. Yeah. This is an interview. Of course I'm filming this. Don't ask that question, okay?
So you're always filming.
Not always, but very often, yes.
Why are you?
People love this. People love heroes.
Do real talk, or you want to do an interview? Yeah.
This is both. It's real talk in an interview. I mean, that's what we're going for here. You can be open with me.
Yeah, sure. I want to take over the world, like in a like in a rock star way. Everyone should know the Moor Princess.
Everyone should know.
Well, I mean, you've definitely gained pretty, definitely you've got a following. I mean, people have taken notice.
Yeah, we had a pretty good superhero team going there for a while with Shadowline. Yeah, we called it. Of course, it was called Mole Princess, the Mole Friends. And,
So okay, cool. So I'm going to real quick insert in just suggestion. You guys are angling towards a couple of moves, and I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of them. So the Delinquent has a team move of if you share a triumphant celebration with someone, ask them if they think you're cool. So, if you want to work that in, then you've engaged that move. And then the outsider, if you share a triumphant celebration with someone, you can take influence over them if you show them meaningful affection, physical or emotional. Which won't be at all weird from Alari, but hey, I'm just throwing those out there for you.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna push that was. So so yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I guess you probably haven't seen like my stuff before. I mean, I've definitely covered you before, but
of course I know your show. I sometimes watched, like not like all the time. When the day comes out, watching, but
I mean, everybody likes
I'm more of a low-key follower, like, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you think that's the stuff we're looking at right here? I mean, like, I know you're a little sensitive because it's like your father and all that, but this is some great material we're looking at. Like, I got some good stuff down there. This is gonna play really well. I mean, I'm excited to be working with you, Mole Princess.
Yeah, you should. You should film me doing some like real heroics sometime, not like talking with my family.
It all plays well, but like, as soon as we get into some heroics up top, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's your thing, but just imagine like me burrowing into your mom's garden with the mole craft, like that would be that would feel a bit strange too.
Well, don't tell me that's where we're headed.
I mean, I don't know your mom's garden, or
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like we tried to get down there. I think it was just kind of a happy little accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what? I bet you were pretty impressed by some of that illusion work back there. I mean, I know your dad loved it. You can't tell me you weren't like a little bit excited to see all that stuff.
yeah, you saw where I grew up, but yeah, it's pretty good. Special effects work like makes me kind of doubt some of the things you showed on your show.
Oh, I never fake it on camera. You're really doubting any of the stuff out of the show? That's all real. It's real heroics.
Oh, that's great. So I think that Alari has said that she thinks you're cool. So you guys can swap influence now. You have influence over Alari, and Alari has influence over you. Was Alari showing affection for
Sure, she said she was a low-key follower. That's
cool.
Pretty affectionate for her.
Well, hashtag needs to decide if it's meaningful. I just realized that.
Yeah, definitely. I was surprised that she even knew who I was. I mean, I kind of took Alari for someone who was kind of like, outside all of that, so to speak, who wouldn't exactly be following me, but it's definitely big news to find out that she's actually seen my stuff.
Nice. Cool. Then what that does, you take influence over them. So you've already got influence, so you can move hashtags labels, Alari. If you would like, you can shift one of them up and another one down.
I think I want to get his danger down and his savior up because I talked some empathy with him.
All right.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
So I think I'm gonna move your freak up and your mundane down. I really want to see some crazy powers coming up.
Wait. I don't think that's a swap. I think it's just that Alari does the swap.
Oh, right. I guess I didn't have influence on her before, so yeah, I gained the influence.
Now you gain influence for the first time. So
okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Speaking of which, Yoshi, did Sika have influence over the shadow already?
I did, but then I lost it at the end of last session. So
you took it away.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have to do any swap stuff.
No, I checked that with the thing. I was like, oh, I better check to see when this is engaged, if that's going to have an impact. And I actually have forethought. Yes. Awesome. So we will cut with you. Shadow, where is it that the mole craft comes up to the surface? Is this in like a city center, or is it in Hashtag's mom's garden? Is it?
I think it's in a city park. Basically, if I remember correctly, there was a statue that had been damaged of one of the old, Golden Age kind of heroes, and this is the park where that statue is under repair. So,
nice.
As the mole craft comes up, you see in the background like the scaffolding around the statue.
Yeah, we'll say this was like Captain Victory. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
I feel like as we come up, the scaffolding falls apart, like the vibrations, and it just crumbles down. Like maybe the statue shakes back and forth a little bit, but it's sort of like, again, just calling back to the fact that we destroyed it last time, or the other team destroyed it, but all the scaffolding just falls down.
It's great. So then we see like the huge mole craft, right? And then the ladder comes up, and then people are getting off of it. It's just a couple of wide shots, right? And then we see the one Lilitu, she's coming out, she's actually wiping off some of the drought makeup and going off her own way. You guys all come down. The snapping turtle flies away. And after everybody goes, then the last thing that we see before we cut to you guys in more of a tight shot is that the paladin from the fight, he actually comes down the ladder as well, comes down the walking plank and heads off his own way for some reason. The illusory paladin from the D&D game that Hashtag played many years ago, who, by the way, there's a little editor's note, his name is Sir Mathosphere. So, yeah. So where do you guys want to go next? I mean, you've got videos to upload. You've got 2 teammates who you abandoned. There's basically a note from Kitsune Sika asking for you to check in. So what do you guys want to do at this point? Alara, you're on the surface. First time you've been gone for like a week, right? You went away from
Yeah, I check my emails.
check all your emails. You got a bunch, all kinds of DMs from Twitter, and a bunch of people tagged you in Instagram posts, all kinds of stuff. It's
I checked my Cape book profile and things like that.
Yes, your Cape book profile. Yeah, you've been tagged in a few things. There's a upcoming video where your tag is being uploaded right now from #hashtags account. How many thousands of followers does hashtag have at this point?
I would say a lot. I mean, that's kind of his whole deal. I mean, I would say like a couple 100,000. Is that crazy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, no, I think with us going with that kind of theme of celebrity and the fact that you're getting actual, especially this video, The Mole Kingdom, you're gonna blow up. Now, how do you preface it? Right? Do you make any kind of announcements that this is coming, or you just drop it on the internet?
I think he's just gonna drop it. Like I'm probably gonna like record like a quick voiceover first, or just like a quick myself like introducing this, being like, look, I've got some incredible footage. It's like something that no one has ever captured before. Straight from the Mole Kingdom itself. Many people think that it doesn't exist. Well, here we go. I've been there. It's real. Check it out. And that's pretty much just like the only preface is just like right into the video, basically.
I love it's real and it's just D&D.
It's not a trick, so I don't think "Are you watching closely" is a thing that you do.
I don't think it applies. I don't think it applies here. I mean, it's just putting the footage up there. I'll probably put the Mole Princess interview up like a bit later. I kind of want this to kind of dominate for like a day or two, but that's definitely going up soon.
Okay, it blows up. It goes viral immediately. There are references to it on the Halcyon City News that night. People talking about it. They're showing clips of the footage. They give you credit hashtag. It is amazing. It's this huge. It's the biggest splash. You get like a 30% bump in followers. The reshares are just insane. Like, it doesn't quite crash Cape Book, but it is a big deal. It's like Kardashian's butt big. Just to give you an idea of the enormity of your impact there. You are nearly as big as Kardashian's butt. No, you're not nearly as big as that. But that aside,
hashtag
very
Squared's,
popular.
Popularity is growing to the point where he's going to need an assistant to handle his social media accounts soon.
Yes,
if not already. Is that a sidekick?
Oh, a sidekick! Oh my god, it's the best thing ever. Social media sidekick. Yeah, you've got applications for people who are like, "Hey, do you need some help? I'll help you with all your followers." All that good stuff. So you have hit the quote unquote big time, or as big as you're going to get at 16. And
well, I'm turning 17 soon enough.
Yeah. You even get a new follow. Lilitu follows you now. She follows you on Cape Book, so that's pretty good. Oh, I've uploaded a picture of Sir Mathosphere into the EPCs and stuff. So you guys got that picture now for forever.
So I think the things that Sika's going to do is she's probably going to check in with the other 2 teammates that got left behind, but just because they're not here, maybe I can't get a hold of them, or there's just like a voicemail or something like that says, "Hey, where are you?"
Yeah, exactly. They're not appearing in this film right now, and that's
right.
All good.
But I check in that they seem to be okay, at least for nominal, so that I don't have to follow up with them, and then probably following up with gets
No,
you there.
no. Here you go. You call in,
Yeah.
and the call, it's a video call, right? Because
Yeah.
it's the comic books, right?
Right.
So what pops up is old Finn.
Like, you weren't who I was expecting. Where is everybody else?
Where have you
Like,
gone?
Well, we were just in the Mole Kingdom. I'm pretty sure hashtag is uploading the video as we speak, or it's already up there. But I figured we would check in because I wanted to know what happened to everybody else that left behind. What happened to Argent and Impulse?
Obviously, training's over.
Obviously.
So you went traipsing around to the Mole Kingdom. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
there was a
saying?
wedding and there were flowers and dancing and this big cosplay thing. You'll see the video. You'll you know what? I'll make sure that hashtag sends you a link to the video directly.
You think I actually use those kind of things? No, thank you.
All right, we'll project
plan
it the
on
next time
coming
we're
to-
in the office.
I've had a conversation with your grandmother about your absenteeism from this training. I'm sure you'll have to handle that conversation yourself.
Yeah. I was afraid of that. What is there something that needs to happen, or do I just need to go talk to grandma?
I think completing a training with your team on team training might be a good thing to happen, but maybe not today.
Well, we will try to do it again next time. I think we got some good training in, at least some of us in.
Oh, I'm sure in a wedding reception you got a great deal of training.
Well, like I said, next time we're in, we'll show you. Yeah.
Click. He just disconnects. Like, done with you. I'm old Finn and I'm cranky.
Cool.
So you wanted to check in with your grandmother then?
Yeah. I'll check in with my grandmother.
Yeah. Your grandmother, she's the Silver Fox. She's how is she on technology? I imagine, does she keep up? Is this
I think she knows that it's important, so she is one of those people who knows enough about it to be just terrible with it. Like she keeps up a little bit, but always gets things wrong. Like
nice.
Like she knows that she's supposed to do it and she tries, but like she just fails.
Nice. Cool. So you try to call her on the video call. You get a static picture of her, and after a few moments of like a click, and then you hear like boop and a couple tones, and then
Grandma, Bachan.
Sika?
Yes, I'm here, Bachan.
Sika?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Oh, darling. Oh, good. I can see you. Can you see me?
No, I can't, but that's okay. I just wanted to check in to see how things were going. Like I've been told by old Finn to talk to you.
Oh, you shouldn't call him old Finn. That makes him very angry.
But he's old Finn. That's who he is.
That's true. You shouldn't call him old Finn. Sika, darling, Sika.
All right. I'll try not
Argent
to call
the
him.
Elder is what he prefers.
All right. I'll try to remember to call him Argent the Elder.
He was very cross, very, very upset that you left the training early. I explained that this was out of character and that he should not be quite so upset.
Yeah, we didn't exactly want to leave the training early. It just sort of happened. That's what happens when you have powers and things kind of go awry. But we got back safely and everything's good now. We're back, and the whole, well, not the whole team, the team that went down there. We had a little adventure and we came back. There was a wedding. I'm sure, you know what? The next time together, I'll bring up the video and you can see it yourself. I mean, you might be able to see it on Halcyon News. I think they're going to show it later on, but you'll see what happened. Your old friend, the Mole King, was there. That's like where we were, and he he had some nice things to say about you as well.
Oh, delightful. Haven't spoken to him in quite a while. How
I
is
think he still
Vitosh?
likes you. I think he has a crush on you, Grandma.
How is King Vitashu?
He seems to be really entranced with this game that he wanted, and that seemed to be all he cared about at this wedding.
I see. Sika, darling, I'm a bit worried about you being part of this team.
Why?
I mean, if you can't even complete a training session, are you sure this is the right team for you? You know, we could organize a bigger team, a team with better training, a team that you could also assume the mantle of leadership for, that might be more appropriate for you.
Look, I know that some of my team members maybe not have the best control of their powers, but they're still learning. And I think that given our history, we this is what we do. Our family helps lead people and guide them to those people and make them better. And I think this team that is a little bit dysfunctional is where I am best served. Like, to help those people, the more heroes that we can have out here, the better. I don't need to be on a team of super popular, really good, well-trained heroes. That's not who's going to need me. These are the guys who are going to need me.
I understand, darling, and I admire your spirit. But I think that you might be a little yoked by them, especially Marcus Ryman. Especially. He is trouble. And I think that you're going to spend more time dealing with what we call public relations.
Yeah, I know how you feel, that the public relations arm is something that you wish it didn't happen, but like, you have no control over technology and how things boom. But like, that's just a fact of how life is now in Halcyon City. Being a part of YouTube and Twitter and Capebook, like that's just what happens, and it's a part of every hero's life. And
that is for the people without powers to deal with, Sika. We have a greater calling. And someone that wants to have their feet in both worlds, I worry about you.
Well, I think that the work that Marcus does is useful for the rest of us. And I think that with his help, we can be more to the people without powers than those that don't focus on that. I think that we can provide inspiration and hope that they wouldn't be able to get without Capebook.
I have my misgivings. I am a little worried, but I won't beat a dead horse. At the very least, could you at least help him to create a better identity than tic-tac-toe? I don't understand it at all, darling.
I'll work with him. I'll let him know that his
I have fought the chess master, and that I respected. But tic-tac-toe is far too simplistic. I don't understand.
Yeah. I'll let him know that maybe his messaging isn't hitting on brand, on target with some of the older crowd, and we'll work on that.
Very well, very well. Well, Sika, you know that I love and adore you, and I am your biggest fan, and I know that your heart is pure, and so I wish you good luck, and I will tell Argent the Elder to lay off.
Okay. Well, thank you, Bachan. I greatly appreciate that. Now I'll talk to you soon, and we'll have dinner again sometime.
And then you beep, beep, beep.
Grandma,
It's
Grandma.
static.
Yeah, like you have to hit the end call. Like that's not the end call button.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hit the.
Perfect.
Sweet. Where does Shadow go? Sika kind of goes off by herself at the park to make a call, and Hashtag's uploading his video, and Alari is doing something with her mole craft to make it. Does it shrink, or does it like go back into the dirt to arise whenever she needs to summon it again? What does Alari do with her mole craft?
Yeah, I guess she's just parking it somewhere underground. It's going back there when she needs it.
Okay,
I
that's
imagine
amazing. All right,
the teen high school that we go to, actually, it's a superhero high school, right? So it probably has like a garage and place for weirdo vehicles.
oh sweet, yeah. So, what is Shadow doing while Alari is parking the mole craft at Powered High, which is, we'll say, it's nearby?
Yeah, so I think that the first thing he did was he tried to call Old Finn. And I think Old Finn was in the middle of a conversation, so he let it just roll over to voicemail, or whatever.
This is Finn Cooley. Leave a message after the beep. I'll get back to you. If this is an emergency, please call. And he like lists out several other emergency contacts that are actual heroes, some of which exist in this universe.
And after that, I think it's one of those things. He sees everyone else kind of on the phone or talking to people. And I think he just kind of turns around and walks back home. You see this kind of a hung head, and he kind of walks off in the distance, and you see, him going back through, just kind of walking through the different side roads to get back, opening a key in an apartment. And
we have a couple of panels, right? It goes from the bright and beautiful Halcyon City, and then over each panel we see Shadow walking by himself. It gets more and more like lower class, and it becomes actual like slums, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's heading into a key into his apartment. So go ahead.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of throwback here where when we saw him go to school, he kind of popped in. He went down and talked to a few people on the street and then popped in. This is him actually walking, so you see some contemplation in the panels itself. There's something going on internally. So there's a key. He opens it up, and you see this hurried woman, kind of dressed in scrubs, saying, "Oh, I was worried you weren't going to be back in time. You were out all night last night, and I haven't seen you, but I've got to go to work. Have you got all your homework done?" "Yeah, Mom, it's fine." "Okay." She kind of runs off, and he kind of sits down and, kind of thinks for a second, and then probably pops off. You see him pop off to high school, get in a locker, grab his books, and pop back home and sit down at the kitchen table and start working on stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I really like that scene. That was fantastic. Oh, that's really, really cool. Cool. It's a little on the early side. I'm cool with just like a couple of loose scenes, but I don't know if I would necessarily want to like throw a huge thread at you guys. So is everybody cool with just a couple of these loose scenes, and then we'll do wrap up?
Sure.
Okay, good. So hashtag, you do this upload, you are going as viral as more viral than you've ever been, right? Everything was a steady climb with a couple of spikes. This one just blew the hell up. You've made it? Have you made it? Like, you actually like see you have like a PayPal account, right? From views and everything. Like you're getting a little kickback money from advertising, stream your revenue kind of thing going on. How are you handling this?
Well, it's actually, one thing that I guess I should have expected but hadn't really thought through is that when everybody knows who you are, it's like it becomes more difficult to like get around like on the sly. Like, it's like, at school, people are noticing me. I tried to sneak into that warehouse club that I go to, but everybody knows that I'm probably going to be taping them. So they actually kept an eye out for me and actually kept me from going in. So I'm like a little bit kind of like, a little bit upset because like, I'm like, man, I should be like doing a lot better right now. But it seems like, this isn't really like, paying off for me in exactly the way that I had hoped. Like I should be getting like the star treatment and not being like, thrown out of places basically.
Yeah, and then Lily too, she had a couple of selfies she took of you down at the Mole King thing, and like she is riding on your fame now and has made a couple of side stories and said that you guys hooked up, and yeah, she's really just kind of coattailing in, and she's got now like 100,000 followers.
And I'm like a little bit upset with her because I actually liked meeting her, but then she turns around and says all this stuff like we hooked up and this and that. Like I would have gone out on a date with her, but now she's just making stuff up.
She totally is. She totally is, man. Yeah. So I think what we should do, let's touch base with Alari, and then we'll kind of have a ender scene in Powers High. Team names. I love it. So, Alari, you park the car at Powers High School. As you come up through, there's the point, like you cross over with Shadow, who was like popping in to grab his stuff out of the locker. But what do we see Alari up to at this point?
Yeah, she's kind of blinking in the daylight and getting her goggles out and putting them on. But yeah, she's walking out onto the football field in front of the school and just falling backwards. She uses her powers so that she gently bounces down on the grass with density control and just lies there with outstretched arms and kind of enjoys being in the sunlight.
Oh, that is beautiful. I really like that. I really like that. That's cool. That's cool. Sweet. Anybody have any scenes that they want to touch on before we start to move to wrap up?
Yeah, I think I do. But first, I don't know how many comic books you guys read, but I remember back in the day reading Alpha Flight with a character called Marina, who was in the sea kind of thing, and she would do the same kind of thing that Alari just did. She would, she was kind of light and would just kind of enjoy being on the surface world. It was very cool. That is
awesome. That was a great moment. I really like that.
I'd like to see a scene sort of maybe off camera with the snapping turtle and the Raja kind of reporting back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So this will be the first time we've seen the Raja on screen, right?
Yeah.
So I think that what we have is like a murky underworld type thing. Maybe it's like an opium den kind of thing, or a smack house, just according to which way you shoot it or view it. And the snapping turtle's walking past a bunch of people who, it's like it's a hive of scum and villainy type of scenario, right? And she walks through and she has to lower her turtle head because it's an underground type of layer, right? So
does it actually retract a little bit?
Yeah, it retracts a little bit into her shell. She literally, like, one of her powers is she can retract everything into her shell to ignore a bunch of hits. Yeah, so the head just kind of pops and you can see the little eyes, right? She moves in. Of course, there are a couple of sound effects, right? Written onomatopoeias onto the screen as she's muscling past people. And then she comes into a back room, and there is the Raja, these dark features, very swarthy looking, malevolent guy. And the snapping turtle comes in quietly, and he says, "Ilsa, someone's still alive." "Yes, I'm there. Nothing happened." "Well, I'm a little disappointed. I thought that we had an arrangement." "Yeah, I thought we did too. So are you going to do anything? Are you actually going to take advantage of the opportunity that has been provided to you? I would hate for this." He turns around this cool iPad, and there's this sleek robot body, like beautiful female robot body. and there's all these little pop out, call out things like totally from a comic book. Like here is the comic book, the what if or the who's who, right, where they have all the little pop out data points on all of the things, and it kind of swirls around, a little 3D model type thing. And the snapping turtle, just for a long moment, the head kind of extends out, and she's just looking at it. And snapping turtle says, "That is real? Of course it's real. Of course it's real. Were you listening to Tyro? He is just some ghetto trash. He doesn't know all of the powers that I bring to bear. He's just a cast-off. He's just the leftovers after an important experiment." That would be mine. And this like huge mechanical robot finger points into the frame, and she taps the iPad, almost cracks the screen, and he pulls it back and says, "Of course it's yours. Just take care of the shadow, and I will handle the transfer, no problem." And then we'll end that scene right there. And we'll move to the aftermath of this game. So at the end of session, everybody gets to choose one. Did you grow? And I know it's a little weird for Alari's guest starring, but I think it would be fun if we at least go through this. So we'll start with Alari. Did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image for yourself, or grow away from the team?
I think I grew into my own image a bit.
I think that last scene definitely plays towards that. So yeah, let's say that. So explain how you see yourself and why.
Yeah, turns out that I almost feel more at home at the surface world with, more surface world humanish friends my age than in the underground. That is something new that you only find out if you go back home and come back. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Awesome. All right, so let's go to hashtag. Did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
Yeah, I would say it definitely. I mean, it makes sense to me that I grew closer in this one. Let's see. Look at the move there. So explain who made you feel welcome. I would say, I mean, can I mark Alari on this? Because we kind of bonded a bit after
go
that.
For it.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Okay. Cool. So give influence to that character in clear condition or mark potential.
She already has influence, so you, Alari, can move one stat up and one stat down.
I can. Of his or of mine?
Of his, sorry.
Okay.
Even though you already kind of asked just recently.
Not sure which stats. I already did one of them.
That's cool. You can think about it. And we will go on to Shadow. Did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
I think I actually definitely grew into the team. Yeah, grew closer to the team.
Oh, that's interesting, especially with that last scene. But I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Who made you feel welcome?
That was Sika. Yeah.
Definitely. Makes sense to me. Cool. So Sika should already have influence over you. So Sika, you'll get to move one of Shadow's stats up and another down.
Well, I think definitely with the conversation that Shadow had, I feel like their savior went up, like his savior is going up. And maybe the superior is actually going down even further.
Cool. Last but not least. Oh, don't forget, because you're closer, you can mark a condition. You can clear a condition or mark potential. Don't mark a condition. Clear a condition or mark potential. So Shadow can do that, and then hashtag you can also do that. So last but not least, Sika, did you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team?
So I think I grew closer to the team, and it very much the reflection. I think I grew closer with Shadow. So I think Shadow already has influence on over me.
Yes.
And I'm going to, I actually want to keep the guilty condition because I think it reflects very much. I just told Shadow not to go sacrifice themselves. And like, I want to keep that to encourage me to sacrifice later in the next session. So instead I'm going to mark potential.
I love it. That's really cool. I love that meta layer thinking. I really agree with it too.
So I get to, I already have influence, so I get to adjust your stats?
Yep.
Yes.
So what would be the stat associated with leadership?
Superior, I would think.
Okay,
Probably
so
superior.
let's move superior up and probably danger down. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. That takes all of the end of session moves, unless anybody, I don't think anybody had a playbook specific end of session, so that should end it. If you guys have a few minutes, I would love Roses and Thorns.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. So I don't know if I'll just open up by saying this was far more madcap than any game I've run this year. And so I don't know if that's a thorn or a rose, but wow, it was very Excalibur's. It was X Babies. It is some of its Mojo Madness there. So
yeah, I would say this was the Grant Morrison episode of our role-playing game, going way back and way meta with references to old canon, bringing in an old character and going all the D&D stuff because it's a meta thing. Yeah.
it was pretty crazy. So I hope that nobody was upset that it wasn't, wasn't super emo or anything like that. Let's just say that Mick not being here gave me immortalized. I know Mick likes a lot more serious games. So, yeah. So there was that. Thorns. I don't know. Like, there's part of me that feels like maybe I should have had a half hour more of content for you guys, that we're ending early, and this is the second game in a row where we've ended early. So there's a part of me that feels just a little like, okay, Rich, maybe you should throw have a C plot that you can throw in on a pinch. So that's something I'm thinking about there.
Well, in defense of that, I mean, a lot of these stories do say things like, follow the fiction. And in both of these cases, last week and this week, it seems very much like this is a good, solid ending point. So,
well, thanks. I'm glad to hear that.
We
I
could
don't want
have,
you guys to feel changed.
Yeah, we could have gone beating up some like thugs or bank robbers or whatever for a few panels, but that would have been filler more or less.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just to the point lately to where the filler fights, to me, like, I understand that sometimes you can use that filler to angle towards like character moments, and Masks is built for that very specifically, but it just seemed like I wasn't going to tack it on. I know I thought about it, like it passed my mind, but I didn't. Okay. That's Thorns. Bummer that we didn't have either Mick or Fraser here, because this was a fun team moment. I would have liked to have seen Argent and Impulse here and see how they would have reacted in the world. That would have been fun. Other than that, I didn't have any thorns off the top of my head. So, Yoshi, what thorns do you have?
I actually don't have thorns. I really enjoyed this session, even though like it was shorter. Like I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked all the stuff. So I've got lots of roses. So I'll come back to you then.
Well, I'll come back to you then. Steven, what thorns do you have, sir?
So, it's always difficult for me to kind of figure out thorns, and I have to think about it a little bit. The only thing I can think of is so we spent some time adjusting our stats, but I don't feel that I know how that flow goes yet. From adjusting the stats and seeing how that makes the characters more malleable.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and I think maybe that's something that I as a GM can work on, because I don't think I necessarily facilitate that conversation terribly well, because I find the sheer amount of times that your stats get moved around is really hard for me from like a headcanon perspective to get it. It's almost like the idea of making 2 levels in a D&D, single D&D session. It's like, okay, well, I just now got the goodies from level 4, and now I'm in level 5. I never even felt level 4 before. That's something I need to come to grips with, on how best to pull it back into the fiction and make sure that it feels right.
So my question about that was, is that because of the way that we play games, in small number of sessions, and that the adjustment of the stats happens over time, especially whenever you start to lock stats, that you see over a longer period of time, or is that something that you see in a short period of time?
I saw a lot of stat movement even during playtests run by the designer. I think it's just part and parcel of it, that your stuff is in flux, that is part of being a young adult, that things are just bouncing around. You go, and there are even strategies, right? You go into a fight and you're going to juice somebody up in a particular stat specifically for that fight, knowing that it's going to go away before long.
Yeah, so like the one thing I haven't seen in our game here that I did see when I played with Brendan, the designer, is that like people would like say and encourage things and cause influence like in the middle of a fight to get somebody to have their stat better. So like somebody like cheerleading, like, hey, no, like you can really do this, like I know you have this power, like practice what, like we practiced this before, you can use your power to really lay into them and like increase their freak and lower their mundane so that their next move is stronger.
I see.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's a fun tactic of using that malleability of the stats, and I like that. That's cool. Anything else, Stephen? Philip?
Yeah, biggest son obviously is that this is the only weekend I have this month to play Mask. So yeah.
My Thor 2! That was so fun to see Ellery again.
Yeah, but that's I was happy going into the guest starring role and not hogging all the spotlight on that. But I think she had a fun run, even if it didn't engage too much with the rules. And I had a scene with every character, so I got what I wanted out of this. Yeah.
Cool.
But it is still a campaign system, and so it's, just playing the character for one session is a bit of a sore.
I hear you. Michael, what about you? What thorns do you have?
Nothing I can think of, honestly. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll get to roses in a minute, but I don't have any real thorns for this one.
Okay, cool. If you think of any later that you want to share with me, feel free. We'll stick with you. You want to share some roses? You said you got some roses, so throw them out.
Yeah, sure. It was cool. I really enjoyed the guest appearance quite a bit. I love the detail with the worm guy. Like that cracks me up like way too much. The whole worm guy wedding basically to the gender swap version of himself.
That was so superhero, man. Yeah,
and I especially love that toast at the end of the wedding to get us out of there. So that was definitely a highlight for me. I feel like I'm honestly not concerned with the session being short. We had enough time for that really cool adventure, and then got to explore the characters a bit at the end, and open up some new stuff. And I'm excited for kind of previewing the Raj a bit. So definitely a lot to like in this session.
Cool. Thank you, Michael. What about roses from you, Philip?
There were some really good descriptions in panels and comic language in there that they have been in all the Gauntlet Masks games I was in, but it's they stick out to me because in some other Masks games I played, they are it's more like the basic role-playing language that's used, and here we are talking more in panels and color patterns and stuff like that. That's as someone who's a bit of a comic nerd, I enjoy that too.
That's one of my favorite aspects of Masks and how Brendan said, like, yeah, make it like a comic panel. And I've gotten so, I mean, I'm used to, lazy, whatever you want, to think of things like a TV show that is really fun for me to think in panels, because there are certain aspects, conventions of that you are really different. So I'm glad that you like that, and I'm glad you're a comics nerd too, because like I realized when I was talking about the gutter, I'm like, I don't know if everybody knows what the gutter is. Maybe I should go back and explain it. That's cool. I'm glad you like that. Any other roses?
I liked all the characters in the small window of time. I saw them. I might go back and look at the YouTube videos to find out how they are doing. But yeah,
awesome.
Good characters, and the Mole King now has a personality. That was interesting.
Oh, it was so fun.
It was the teenage part of the teenage superheroes was hit for Larry pretty hard this session, because she was at home and at this weird wedding.
I'm glad you played along with that, because I realized I haven't checked in with Philip about Mole King at all. I'm going like off the deep end here. I hope he doesn't mind. So I'm glad that it worked out for you. Really glad.
Yeah.
Cool. Steven, what about roses from you?
The thing that actually stood out for me, I'm really bad with role-playing voices, and I really liked the Mole King's voice and the way you did him. Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. I felt like Ilsa's voice bounced around a little bit. Like I wasn't sure if she's Russian or German or just different voiced, but yeah, I felt really comfortable with Mole King. Glad you like that. Any other roses?
I had a really good time. Everything seemed very good. I liked a lot of the scenes where there was like gonzo stuff happening, and then there was this switch to very serious kind of discussion at the same time. I like that. So I think everyone did a good job. I really liked it.
Awesome. Thank you. Yosh?
Yeah, so like I said before, I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed the wedding. I have a love for like superhero things when they do like mundane normal things and how that interacts. So like I really like this whole like super villain hero wedding, like that it's a normal thing that people would have, and how it would look like if it was a bunch of super villains and superheroes. Like I really enjoy that type of stuff. So I thought that whole thing was a lot of fun.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love that too. Let's just say maybe in next session there will be a Powers High School sporting event you guys have to participate in. Any other roses?
So I really also enjoyed a lot of the emotional scenes, just kind of echoing what other people said. Like to me, one of the things that is really great about Masks is the fact that so much of the game is about having those emotional scenes and talking to people and like exposing vulnerability and like bolstering people up. And so like I'm really happy that we got to hit a bunch of those things and see those things, because I think that's where the whole genre, I think, sings for me. And so I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was one of my roses, is that I appreciate you guys playing along when Rich said, hey, let's engage these team moves. Hey, let's do this celebration move. And you guys worked it in, and it felt really character motivated and allowed us to trigger those moves that I think are really fun. And I know it's a whole lot of, and now influence and now stat moves around, but I also think that there are some other ramifications. Big rose to you, Philip, for just coming in full force. And not only was Alari awesome, but you actually stole someone saying they feel closer to the team because of your guest star. That's a huge rose for you, man. You came in and made such a vibrant and interesting character. So that was awesome. And rose for nobody like flipping the table on us going silly, and also that we could sneak in character things. Really good instincts from you, Steven, about I'm going to keep following up with Snapping Turtle. I'm not going to let that go away. That was awesome because I wasn't necessarily going to have Snapping Turtle like jump in and add more to the fiction, but I definitely had the idea that she was a presence there, and by you engaging her, that allowed me to kind of have that happen on screen, and I was thankful for that. The bit with Shadow walking through and heading home, and that callback to who he is as a normal person, that was great. That was really, really strong. I like that a lot, and I'm glad that you said, "Hey, I want to pull this scene out." Michael, hashtag dealing with fame and the frustration of getting what he wants and it not being not necessarily what he wants. I love that you went there. That was really cool. You could have easily said this is perfect and it's everything I've ever dreamed, but that there's a little bit of sour in with the sweetness is great. I've super loved the scene with Sika and her grandmother. I wasn't sure where it would go, but that level of respect and affection, but still, no, I'm going to do what I'm going to do from Sika. That's why she's awesome. That's what the legacy is about. So that was really, really cool. There are a lot of really strong scenes. I even liked Alari and Mole King, the way they interrelated with each other, and Alari's like, I love my dad, I guess it's my culture, but I'm also super embarrassed by him, and can you adjust this video, please? Don't make him look like a buffoon. That was so cool. That was a really neat, like, that felt real. Like, I love my family, this is where I'm from, but I totally get that nobody gets what we're about, and I'm kind of embarrassed by it. That was super fun. Super fun.
Yeah, the whole structure of the last sequence was pretty good with everyone kind of arriving at their home like Larry was kind of going away from home, but there was the craziness underground, and then we moved up and it came close to normal life, and the shadow montage kind of grounded it in reality with him arriving with his mom, and then everyone had kind of a last panel that really put them there as a person instead of this madcap hero hijinks character that they were in the Underground Kingdom.
Yeah, and you're absolutely, that's perfectly identified this, Stephen. You set that off. You helped us to kind of make that shift and break away. So thank you for that.
So
awesome.
a lot of this session and the last session both remind me a lot of the old annuals that you used to get. Basically, I don't know if they do annuals anymore in comics. I haven't seen them in a long time, but a long time ago, you used to, once a year they'd come out with this annual, and Alari was kind of the guest star in this year's annual. So
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Awesome. Well, I am going to go make some pizza and enjoy that, because somebody mentioned pizza before the game started, and now I've been thinking about pizza. And so this was super fun. Thank you for the single session guest star, Philip. You are a rock star, and I'll see the rest of you guys next week. We should have Fraser and Mick back, so we'll have a full team. And yes, there will be Powers High School sports taking place. That's just the best thing ever.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Cool.
Consider Mole Friends a Mole Squad for your team name.